Hi guys, Steve here, and on this video I'll be showing you a selection of Yi Ling Traps to show you which ones are best, and I think you're going to be impressed with the one I came up with. So when this video helps you, please consider liking, subscribing and sharing with your friends. Thank you. On my first video that I recommend you watch first, I went into all the details on how to tame a Yi Ling normally. Go watch it now if you haven't already, as I'll presume you already know all the info and tricks. Class this as a part 2, the easier way to tame it with traps. Right, we're going to start by seeing which door width a Yi Ling can fit through and which it can't. Put one foundation down, get the walls, press R. Let's have double doorways first, make it double high, got in a Yi Ling, and it passes through. Okay, so these won't do. Take the double doorways down, press R, let's select the single doorways, and let's try that. Okay, get stuck on these, good. That's the ones we're going to use. Right, let's do the first trap or cage. Wildcard are trying to stop you from trapping creatures and make it so the taming doesn't work unless a creature can move around. So it looks like things are going to be moving towards protection cages for you instead of traps for the creature. I put 2x2 foundations down as I want enough space to be in the middle safely without it getting to me. Then I put single doorways at the sides. There we go, we're finished, that's the basic done. Now walk up and down all the foundations to make sure it's not too high so you can't get up, like it is there. There's a ground slope most places on Aberration, so where the foundations are too high to get up, just put ramps there. There we go, now we can get in the cage from any direction. I'll just put extra ones on the side just in case. And that's the first trap done, a 2x2 foundations by 2 single doorways high. Right, I've spawned a 150 Yi Ling, because I want to make sure that these traps work all the time on the highest level creature. You want it to hit you with 30 feathers, so stand out in the open and let it do it. You're wearing your best armour to mitigate the damage, and you're just waiting for the feather count in the bottom right to get up to 30. When it does, run inside your cage, and the Yi Ling will try and dive bomb you. Throw the Z plant fruit at it to stun it, then go up to it and press E to feed it the biotoxin that's on the 0 of your hotbar. Now they're a bit daft and they stay stuck in the doorways, so every time you've stunned and fed it, go outside the cage so it comes after you and it will free itself from a doorway. You'll notice in the bottom right that I'm still over 30 feathers, because it didn't get to dive bomb me to reset it. So as soon as you go out in the open, it dive bombs you and takes away your feathers. So try to avoid that because you don't need to do it. Otherwise it resets it and you've got to stand out in the open to let it hit you with 30 feathers again. If it lands on the ground you can just get in a cage to stop it biting you. It got distracted with another creature, then took off and started attacking you again. I got its aggro, we're over 30 feathers, so get in a cage. It'll dive bomb you, throw the fruit, go up to it and press E, and there's another successful feed. Again it gets stuck, so go outside the cage to let it get to you. It'll aggro onto you again. You've still got over 30 feathers, so it's instantly going to try and dive bomb you again. But because you're in the cage it can't, so you can throw the Z fruit at it again, stun it, and feed it another biotoxin straight away. Look, we've got it completely baffled. Well man, what the hell's happening? Gone outside to get its aggro, get back in the cage quick before it dive bomb you. You've still got all your feathers. Now one thing I missed on my first video is when it's about to dive bomb you, the tips of its wings glow red. It's hard to notice when you're taming it without a cage. You've got to keep an eye out on the feather count in the bottom right, keep an eye on the Yi Ling, and keep an eye out for any creatures around you. But because you're in a cage it's more relaxing to tame, and you've got more time to look out for its tails like its glowing wings. There you go, can you see the glowing red streaks on its wingtips? They last about 4 seconds, then it will dive bomb you. Sometimes when you hit it with fruit it won't get stunned, and we'll just walk around a bit. If that happens I'd throw a few more fruit just to make sure, then go up to it as you can still feed it a biotoxin. We're still above 30 feathers, so it's not managed to dive bomb me yet. I just go back to the centre of the cage so it can't get to me, or if you're keeping an eye on it like this, You can stay at the back of a cage, so there's no chance of it getting you. If it doesn't look trapped in a doorway, and moves away after a few seconds, then you can stay in the cage and you don't have to go out. But if it is trapped in a doorway and it sees itself as can't get into you, after a while it sees itself as trapped and will just fly off far away from you, and that could screw up your tame. You see the red wingtips? Stun it. A few more to be sure. Feed it the toxin, and it's passed out. Now, wasn't that vastly easier than doing it without a cage? Hell yeah. Spoilers, the 2x2 square foundation cage seems to be the perfect size to build your trap. It's wide enough to keep you safe in the centre, and that you only have to build 2 doorways walls high. With the 4 flat wall sides, there's plenty of room for the Yi Ling to fly at you and get stuck in the door frames, so it doesn't slide off. You're safe inside, it's cheap to build and very fast at taming. And at this point I thought, wow, this is going to be a short video. It does everything you want, and it was my very first trap. However, it's not a Nublet's god tier trap. So let me show you how I got to that. Oh, and I punched it by mistake as I was waiting. That's why it's not max level. Right, trap 2, using triangle stone foundations. Try and find a flattish bit of ground. That'll do. Put it down. Make a hexagon. Put the doorways at the side. Let's do it too high. Easy enough to build. Let's see how this one gets on. I've already shown you the full process of taming, so I'm just going to skip forward to the highlights and my thoughts. It's a lot smaller inside the cage than a 2x2 square, so you have to concentrate more and put extra time and effort in standing right in the centre of the cage. Otherwise, if you're too close to the sides, when the Yi Ling dive bombs you, it manages to hit you and removes all the feathers. Then you've got to go out in the open and get your 30 feathers back again and again and again and again. Yes, it does work and you can stun and feed it, but it's much trickier to use, requires more effort and concentration, and unless you do everything perfectly, there's no leeway for messing up, where there is on the 2x2 square one. If you constantly keep your eye on it and hug the back wall as you turn round, then that makes it easier, as if you stand right in the middle, because the walls and the Yi Ling are closer to you, you get stunned and blinded longer from a Z fruit. Overall, it's just a more stressful experience to use. If a 2x2 first one is an 8 out of 10, I would say this hexagon one is a 5. Right, trap 3 is going to be a large triangle one. I'm going to use triangle foundations, lower it a bit so I can get all of them in. Expand out from there. Oh, that was a bit low. I'll raise that. There we go. Right, that's going to be too high to walk up, so I need ramps on the side. Put it there as well. Walk up there, and one there. Okay. And I can gain access from any angle. Put the single door frames in. You notice it's already taking more structures than the others. Make the walls 2 tiles high, and there we go, let's try that. This trap's got the biggest space in the middle up to now. I'm standing out in the open so I can get my 30 feathers. There we go, now go in the trap. Where is it? There it is. Go on, get off the floor. Oh, it's dived inside. Okay, 2 doorways high is not going to work. Let me add a 3rd layer. With it being a bigger trap, you need to make the walls higher. Alright, let's see if that works. I can't see anything. I'm blinded. Right. Let's get my 30 feathers again. There we go. Let's go inside. Let's land on the floor. Come on. Wingtips are glowing. Dive. Throw. Feed. It's trapped in a doorway, so move out so it releases itself. And get in the centre and start again. Overall, it's a good trap. It's just a bigger version than the 2x2 first one. Its main downside is that it needs a lot more building tiles than the first one, as you need to build 3 walls high. And I have noticed that a Yi Ling spends quite a lot of time on the ground, which is time wasted. So I'd give this one a 6, 6.5 out of 10. Trap 4 will be the cross trap. It's going to be 2x2 square foundations. Then we're going to put the doorways in the middle. 2 high. And that side as well. And there to make a cross. And I'm just going to put the ramps in so I can get up on the foundations. Let's see how it goes. Getting my 30 feathers. There we go. Right, we need to stand in the trap and it will get caught in the angles of the cross. You can throw the stun fruit at the wall and it'll still work, but because you're so close to it, you're going to get stunned and blinded as well. So you've got a lot less time to go up to it and feed it a biotoxin. One of its biggest problems is, when you're trying to work your way through the doorways, to get on the opposite side away from a Yi Ling, you lose sight of your tame so you don't know where it's gone, and you've got to put a lot of skill and concentration in to get through the doorways. To move around in a circular motion, while you're focused on the Yi Ling and not looking where you're going. Feels like you're doing an obstacle course while you're trying to tame it. Plus, as you're going through the doorways, you're so close to the centre of the cross that it's blocking your view, so you lose sight of a Yi Ling. So you find it hard to stay on the opposite side of the trap, and you'll probably miss when it's dive bombing you. A better option is to stay completely on the outside of the trap and avoid going through the doorways altogether. But because you're making a bigger circumference, the Yi Ling can catch up with you to do its dive bomb, so you end up having to cut through the doorways anyway. And it seems to spend a lot of time on the ground instead of dive bombing you. But that might be down to the height of the surrounding ground, which gave me an idea for later. With this X trap, it feels like you're running on a treadmill while you're trying to tame. Overall, I'd give this trap an S out of 10. For trap 5, I thought of building an umbrella mushroom kind of cage. I build 2 pillars up, 3 might be too many. Get 1 ceiling tile, and then sloped triangle roof. Put that pointing down. Put 1 each side. I don't feel safe underneath. It'll be able to get in. So I'm going to block the sides off as well, leaving a small opening. Like so. That I can use as a doorway. There we go. I can just run in and be safe inside. Let's see how it goes. Just getting my 30 feathers. There we go, inside quickly. And I can't see anything. It's landing on the roof instead of getting trapped in the doorways. Okay, you win some, you lose some. Yeah, I don't think this is going to work. Out of 10, I'd give this a whole heap of ass. So let's get on to the final one. Trap 6. You remember how I was saying that the height of the ground around your trap might be making the Yi Ling land, and your trap's on the ground, you're on the ground, so the Yi Ling lands, and that walks onto the ground towards you. Well, what happens if nothing's on the ground? I put 2 pillars down, you can do more if you want. And then we have 4 ceilings connected to that. Next, I'm going to do a ramp down, so I can get up there. Then I'm going to put the single doorways in. There we go. Put it all around the side. Because we already know the 2x2 cage works, and we only have to do the doorways 2 tiles high. There we go. Finished. Now we're off the ground. And to get back in the trap, we just use a ramp. Right, let me show you how this beauty works. You need to get your 30 feathers again. You might want to time this. You'll be amazed. Hope it avoids the other traps. It's a bit crowded here. He wants a little nibble. Right, I've got 30 feathers. Get inside the trap. Find out where it is. There it goes. Throw your fruit. Feed it a biotoxin. It's stuck in the doorway above ground. Go down a ramp so it aggroes you to free itself. Then go up a ramp when it flies off. Because this trap's off the ground, you'll see that the Yi Ling never lands or walks up to you like it does with every other trap or method of taming it. There it is. Throw the fruit. Go up to it. Feed it a biotoxin. He's stuck again. Drop down. It'll free itself. Go back up the ramp. Find out where it is. You've still got all your feathers. It's glowing red. It'll dive bomb you through the fruit. If it drops down, drop down after it and try and feed it a biotoxin. Dives me again. Stun it. Drop down, feed it, go up the ramp. This is the fastest you've ever seen. Yes, it is. Where is it? It's stuck under there. Okay, come out. There we go. I'll give you a nibble. Go up the ramp. I've still got the feathers. Wings are red. Dive bomb. Throw. Drop down. Feed it. Back up the ramp. Find out where it is again. Oh, it's stuck in that trap. Dive bomb me. Oh, that trap put it off. Come on, out the ramp. I'll let you have a nibble. Up it goes. Get in. Wings are red. Get ready for a dive bomb. Throw. Stunned it. Feed it a biotoxin. Go back up again. Still got the feathers. So it only has to give you 30 feathers once. And you'll never lose them. So you can tame this earlier on with weaker armor. Dive bomb me. Stun it. Feed it a biotoxin. Go down. Let it free itself. I bet it's thinking, what the hell's going on here? Find it again. Wings are going red. Get ready for a dive bomb. Stun it. Feed it a toxin. And it's knocked out. How about that? Oh yeah. Come on now, that must have earned your like and subscribe. Thank you. I've given it a kibble. All I've got to do now is wait for it to eat. And it's tamed. I've taken it from being a complete pain in the ass to tame to be one of the most easiest ones ever. So as soon as you hit level 50, you can build a saddle and tame them. If you want to know the best way to tame a Cosmo, I've linked that video at the end, so go watch that. And I guess I've got to do an updated version of how to get your first rock drake egg and how to tame reapers now. If this video was helpful, I'd appreciate it if you'd click like and subscribe if you've not already, as it will help out my channel. Click bell notifications on all to get notified when I upload next, and share this video with your friends please, as it helps me out. Thank you. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll link other videos at the end. Goodbye.